StarCraft 2, he's been having a tough time in Heart of the Swarm here in Pro League, so we'll see how he can turn things around, because not only him, but his whole team is having a really, really rough season so far. And hopefully he can get his act together. Here's Hero, of course, the player from Team Liquid, representing Incredible Miracle. Currently tied at 24 and 24, representing mostly his stats from the previous season where he was playing for EGTL.
Yeah, I think the story here is Hydra going to actually take a game off of the Protoss here? Is he going to look, at his best today? Or is Hero from Team Liquid actually going to bring a win to Incredible Miracle? The way he lost against Cal was not very good looking, I have to say, just the way he lost. So
yeah,
we're going to have to see if he can do a little better here.
Yeah. Let's find out. Looks like our map is uploaded and ready. It's time for our Zerg versus Protoss, Hydra versus Hero, the 2014 Pro League. CJ Endis against Incredible Miracle.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top right, we have the red Zerg from CJ Entis. This is Hydra.
Looking very focused here. Very well known for his roach timings, especially in ZVZ, but he's playing a totally different matchup here. Playing against Team Liquid's Hero, and this player is not somebody to mess around with. One of Hero's biggest weaknesses are definitely his nerves. You can tell when he's playing, sometimes he's just so nervous. And even looking at his face right now, you can see he's breathing quick. He's definitely tense. Let out a sigh or two actually before the game even started while he's in the booth. So this is something that can definitely get into his head. If, say, he gets blocked at his natural with a with a drone, Grandmaster. But anyways. If he gets blocked at his natural or something, or his build gets messed up, one of his gases gets taken, he can definitely get a little bit emotional about that. So there's something to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think about his situation. He's here, staying in Korea, representing Team Liquid for a team, that's not exactly his Incredible Miracle here. He has to, prove his team well and do well for Incredible Miracle because he is representing them. And he is up against Hydra, one of these well-known players from Brood War who does have some history behind him. If I were Hydra, I'd like to see him do something a little more aggressive, try to get on Hero's nerves, like you mentioned, just to try to set the pace of the game in his way.
I think these positions are really great for fast third bases for these two players because at these spawning locations, both players' third base location is farther away by attacking by a ground. So it's a little bit more difficult to actually assault that position with, say a Hydraless Force or an Immortal timing, or even, a Ground Zealot timing. There's Hirai, I am coach. Really definitely could be an actor. He could play any type of villain. Even though he's actually a kind man in person, I think he could actually act to be evil.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy. I've met him before, talked to him before, but you look at his jaw and you're like, well, he could be a whole slew of different types of roles there.
Yeah, he definitely could, man. Well, this is interesting. We have actually a second pylon before Forge, so a little bit of a greedy build here by Hero. This gets his probe count up a little bit faster and delays his cannon. And actually, this means Zerglings might get into his base on this map. It's possible.
Well, he's going to come in here with this probe, and he's going to see the Zerglings out here already. He's going to know the timing was that he did get the cooldown before the hatch, but he did wall that off at the front, so he should be okay.
Yeah, he's got the probe there, so he can actually just make a wall until it's time. Even sends his probe back temporarily there. Well, there's the probe. There's the probe, the wall you were talking about.
Yeah.
Can't get in. Not gonna happen. Oh, he actually has to stand there though.
He's got to. Yeah, he's gonna put the building down, wait for that cannon to finish, and these Zerglings are just gonna be annoying for now. Just gonna chip at this pylon. I don't think they're gonna get it before this cannon comes up.
No, definitely not. But picking away at it actually is really nice because then later on, if he wants to poke with a Roach Force or anything else, it's going to be a lot easier to knock that pylon down.
Yeah, doing a bit of extra damage besides the shields. You have that Cybernetics core going down as well, of course.
Yeah, this is a great map for Hydra to take a third base, sit back comfortably. And he's been able to identify what Hero's build is right now. He's already got a second Overlord getting closer to Scout, and had we been cross positions, a little bit tougher for the Zerg to get information early because the second Overlord is just so far away. We'll see how Hero decides to actually follow up here. Core's not done yet. That Overlord actually identifies that and also goes to check and see if there's any additional pylons there. He's going to find this third pylon, which is going to let him know exactly where he wants to scout for the tech to be added.
Yeah, and these 3 Zerglings, again, are just going to come up here, poke, see what they can see. They do see that, I believe they saw the Chrono Boost on the gateway for the stock coming out, so he's going to know that he's going to want to get those Zerglings away.
He also knows that there's no forge research, so there's no sort of weird +1 timing coming his way, which is kind of totally out of style in Korea right now to get a fast +1, but he wants to identify that if it is coming his way. And with the Stalker here and the second Overlord's position, it's going to be virtually impossible for him to actually identify that Stargate tech is what he's up against. But he can reasonably assume with how the meta is right now in Korea that that's probably what it is. But as a Zerg player, this can be a little bit worrisome because you don't know if an Immortal Time is coming. Whoa! He actually may lose this. That was so close.
That was incredibly close. I think it might have been 1 or 2 more shots there to take that guy down.
Yeah, just 1 more would have done it. And with that rally, it looks like he just didn't right-click quite far enough. Yeah. But unfortunate for Hero, he's got to be frustrated with that one. The Phoenix will finish it off, but...
Yeah, he's going to know the Stargate's coming up here because he's going to have the Phoenix in his face. He's already getting these Spore Crawlers just down just in case.
Yeah, really safe play here by Hydra. And I think with a fast third base for Hero here that it looks like he's poised to take, he's got that probe over there. This is going to be one of those games where we see Swarm Hosts. We're going to see the mid to late game with a lot of free units, mostly coming from the Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of that so far. I mean, just a ton of really late-game PvZs that we've been having so far in Pro League. This Overlord, of course, is going to go down as well. That's 2 Phoenixes out so far. He's continuing to make those while getting his third base. He's going to get some of that map control, take down a bunch of these Overlords, get a lot of scouting information as well, see what's going on in the Zerg's base.
I think the Zerg knows there's a third base going up here. Not necessarily by vision. Well, we'll get a clarification of that soon. I don't know what that third Overlord to the left side actually saw. He made a pretty big wave of Zerglings, so I think he's got a good idea what's happening over here. He's going to go and identify. Now knows for sure. And actually will try to trade for a Stalker here. Zergling speed's not done, but it doesn't matter just yet. He's going to get the Zealot as well. And this is not very good for Hero. Losing some units does get that gateway wall, though that's the most critical part.
Yeah, there's that cannon down as well. It is protected by all those buildings, as well as those 3 gateways coming up. He is starting, again, a robotics base coming up, so he's going to be going to Colossi.
Yeah, and with the timing of the Colossi, with the robotics base starting as the Hydra stand is kind of finishing up, timing here is pretty solid for him to hold this third base against any pressure, on this map especially. It's going to be pretty easy for him. I like this. Picks off some gas drones here, just being safe on the edge. The Queen, a bit too overzealous, but the lifting Phoenix is targeted by the Spore, so that's always a scary situation. No cancel, though. And he's just being a menace with these harassing units right now.
Yeah, I think that's 6 kills in there on the drones as well as the Queen. And he's going to get these Overlords as well.
A bit sloppy here by Hydra to actually allow that to happen. Now going to lose even further, more gas drones. And losing that Queen means that protecting the gas drones with just 1 Spore Crawler is not going to happen. It just simply will not.
Yeah, and he had 5 of those Phoenixes in there as well, so it's really hard to stop, even with just 1 Queen and 1 Spore Crawler. This Overseer is going to come in here and get a good look at what's going on. He sees the robotics bay going down.
This is just a really, really nasty situation for Hydra. He's already identified, wow, your robotics bay is already done. You're already researching range. Also, I see that you're making Void Rays. The choice to take this 4th base here, I think, is a great one. It's something that will probably not be scouted by Hero for a long time. And yeah, he makes 13 drones. He knows an attack here with the timing of the robotics bay and also those Void Rays coming out and the position of the 3rd base on this map. It's just not going to work. He's not going to be able to hit that timing and win the game. It's incredibly unreasonable to expect that to work.
Yeah, he knows it's possible, but just the idea of it happening, he knows that he would be safe against it and that he would have the required tech at least to hold it off. And he's just going to get that 4th base that is so far away from the Protoss, so hard to get over there. And like you said before, even scout it.
No, this is the right choice. The infestation pit that we have coming out here likely to be for a Swarm Host transition. It's possibly tries to jump right to Broodlords, but against already this many Void Rays coming out, that's not really not going to be what he wants. More so for the Corruptors. And more scouting here. I like how much scouting we see out of Hydra. He's always trying to identify when are the Stargates being added, how many gateways has he added, is he trying to hit a 3-base timing attack with a bunch of Blink Stalkers and those Void Rays and then some of the Colossi to kill a 4th base that he thinks I'm making, or is he, sitting back? He doesn't actually get to see the 2 Stargates that are being added right now, and I don't think he saw the +1 research either. Oh no, these Phoenixes are getting caught.
Yeah, caught out there. 2 of those Phoenixes going down. And the Hive is actually coming out of Hydra right away, right when that Infestation Pit went down.
Looks like he wants to try to trade here a little bit against this Protoss army at the natural rather than trying to fight at the 3rd base because that's so far away. 2 excellent force fields, though, give him a decent trade. I think maybe the idea here is if I can keep the army low when my Broodlords come out, since I already have a fast 4th, I can do a lot with that. This is a great position for his Hydralisk, by the way.
Yeah, this is going to be so annoying for the Protoss to deal with. The Photon Overcharge is going to go down. But these Hydras here are just going to be annoying. Pretty much just be an annoyance for now.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Even the Photon Overcharge really not enough to drive them away fully. See how these force fields are a bit late. That's how they are. The Zealot is at the front with 2 cannons here, though. This is going to be a great trade for Hero. And personally, I'm not really liking how Hydra is playing this one. He's trying to be aggressive here at the 3rd base while attacking the natural. And going into Vipers quickly. Vipers would have been great if they were with his push, but if he's going to trade so much of his army away, he's now in a really awkward place. Look at his bank. He can make Ultralisk. That looks like that's his plan, his next step here.
But this push is walking across the map right now. He just traded a bunch of Roaches basically for nothing. And those Hydras on the high ground didn't do much damage besides delaying some. These Roaches as well are going to take some damage from the Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to intercept those, which is good for him, but they're not where they want to be over here defending. I think there's a Warp Prism on the map as well for reinforcing here. Oh, there it is right there. So he can actually warp in units with this army. If he brings a Warp Prism over, that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And this is going to be...
+1 to air just finished as well.
This is going to be almost impossible for Hydra to hold. He traded so many units while he was trying to attack. He was basically trying to do too many things at once. And StarCraft 2, you have to manage your resources as well. But these grabs on those Colossi are beautiful, and this actually causes a bit of problems for Hero.
Yeah, those 2 grabs on the 2 Colossi going down really fast, but those Void Rays, you got to respect the Void Rays doing a lot of damage to that army in the front. These Hydras in the back, we're going to have to see how much damage they do.
It's all about these Hydras because the Void Rays can kill all these Roaches without their help. Okay, there's a lot of things to say about this battle. This battle is over, and this game may be over with it because that was an entire Protoss army that was killed there. So, first of all, there's the Mothership Core, so that's gone. He has a decent bank, but he's now against a Zerg player who's on 5 bases, who's taken the gases to the top left. And that fight was all about getting surrounded. He did not have either the knowledge or the awareness of those Hydras that came from the flank at the back. The grabs on the Colossi were allowed because he got so far forward, and then he got flanked, and with 1 Colossus, you're never going to hold off a flank like that. And now what we're going to see him do is try to survive and try to trade efficiently here, but the problem is the Ultralisk transition that's happening beyond this.
Yeah, he may be able to hold off the push for now, but like you said, the Ultralisk coming in to go over those force fields, which he is doing a decent job of so far. Looks like he's going to just continue to try to pump out these 3 Void Rays and 1 Colossi at the same time. These Roaches in the back annoying as well.
Yeah, just causing some lost mining time here.
Yeah, he's just trying to get his ball back up in order to try to defend anything the Zerg is going to throw at him.
It's just that there's too much for him to defend. He can only fight at choke points, like where he has his force fields, but now that the Zerg army is behind his base here, he can't really fight it until he brings everything over. There's no split here by Hydra, so he can't actually attack at 2 fronts, but he's still delaying mining time while he's on 5 bases with an Ultralisk transition ready to go. Chitinous plating almost done. He has Spine Crawlers going up at home in case the Zealot run-bys. Not looking good for Hero here.
Not looking good at all. The Colossi pull, but not far enough. A lot of these Zerg units going right up to the Protoss army. Taking a lot of damage, though.
Yeah, and you know what? This is actually a great trade. This is a great trade for Hero. Not a lot of Hydralisk left there at the last second. 1 Void Ray alone will clean up these Roaches. A solid defense, but here comes the Remax. 24 Hydralisks, getting more Vipers as well.
Yeah,
and I was just going to say, he's a little bit apprehensive about making Ultralisk right now against this many Void Rays.
Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty dangerous thing to think about if you want to go Ultralisk transition into a bunch of those Void Rays. He already had like 6, I think he did there. And like you were saying before, though, like Hero, he's not even really fully mining at that 3rd base. He keeps on harassing there. Hydra is. and he's doing a good job of keeping it on 3 while Hydra is on 5. So even though he might lose a bunch of fights in a row, he's able to remax so fast. You can just look at the supplies right now. He's up 50. He's going to continue being able to do this.
Yeah. He has, let's talk about the units here. 3 Colossi versus 30 Hydralisks. That's an okay ratio with good force fields. The one Viper that's there is not going to be a game changer necessarily either. I love that he keeps the one Void Ray here. This means that basically only Hydralisks are going to be effective at harassing at this location. He does get an okay trade, on the other hand, with those roaches.
Yeah, again, just stopping the mining time, getting a bunch of these probes. And they're eventually going to be pushed out here, but again, just continuing to trade is what he wants to do.
Just constantly being able to harass while preventing a 4th base is great for Hydra here, because there's no 4th up for Hero. He's starting one right now. It's almost finished. But if Hydra knew that, which he doesn't have vision of it right now, but if he knew a little bit faster, he could have definitely tried to knock it down with his Hydras and then walk away. Hydra's just so fast now in Heart of the Swarm with that upgrade. A few Ultralisks have joined the mix, and this is something that Hero is slowly starting to prepare for with the Immortals. But if he can't hold this 4th base here, then he's going to be out of money and out of luck, because his main base is almost mined out. His natural's not doing the best either. And here come those Hydras I was talking about. This is the kind of harass that Hydra can actually get done here with only a Void Ray for defense.
Yeah, only the Void Ray for defense, and that distraction alone and all of these units here. So many Hydras against this comp, as well as the Ultras, is going to be so hard to deal with for Hero right now.
Yep, a few Stalkers over here to try to deal with those Hydras, but this Nexus is as good as gone. Not really getting any mining from it. That's 400 minerals down the drain and so much time wasted. This one Ultralist here, it really wants those High Templar. I wish I could have seen how good that Storm was. It looks like it was decent under Time Warp as well. He needs the Colossi to be targeting the Hydras. This is actually a great engagement for Hero, but the bank for Hydra is going to allow him to remax so easily, and still Hero with no 4th base.
Yeah, still no 4th base. He's going to go for a push here. We're going to have to see how it goes. Hydra not yet going for any units, though.
No, not yet. Now he goes for the remax with 5 Ultralisks and 20 Hydralisks. A good ratio of units. One thing to consider is his Ultralisks have no attack upgrades whatsoever. The very first one is on its way now. He does have the Carapace upgrade, the Chitinous plating, and he's going to have +3 relatively soon. But I think part of the reason why that attack wasn't as dominant for him was just the missing of that melee upgrade.
Yeah, Hydra not doing the best at upgrades so far. I mean, he does have a decent air upgrade advantage right now, but besides that, not much. And now this big Protoss ball going to come over here, pick off a bunch of these units as well as they try to run over here at this once 4th base, the Hydra.
Goodbye, hatchery of the once 4th base, like you said, the earlier hidden base. This harassment over here going to be easily deflected by a Warp In, or even maybe just 2. Okay, that's an awkward defense. 1 Immortal, a Mothership Core, and 2 High Templar are going to deal with about 5 Druins. 81 drones right now for Hydra may become a problem. I don't like this. I don't think he should be trying to fight this like this. The thing is, what choice does he have? If he doesn't fight this, then his base is the top left or forfeit. Even with an Abduct on this Colossus, it takes forever to finish it off. Way too much air here, not enough anti-air with the Hydras. This Zerg army goes down to 128 supply in total for Hydra. May lose this base as well. And this army coming across the map is still pretty scary.
Yeah, it is really scary. And this 4th base getting up as well is just... Hydra's not going to be able to really pressure that. He's going to try over here, but with this huge Protoss ball on your face, on your turf, what are you going to do but try to defend here? He is getting a bunch of Corruptors out as well, having 7 now.
He is actually engaging with a huge army at the same time as he's using this tiny little precision harass where he's dropping an Archon and 2 High Templar, manages to get the storms off, still damages this hatchery quite significantly. And you know, the drone count being reduced to 76. This hatchery is now gone, no longer mining. The hatchery at the top left is really the only hatchery that has full minerals left at this point. And here we go. This is going to be a tough engagement at the same time, though, for Hero without any storms. There they go, and the Ultras are caught behind.
Yeah, but they're coming up now. They're going to try to do as much damage, but look at these Void Rays. If they can go down to these Corruptors, they could be good. But besides that, I'm not sure how they're going to go with all these Stalkers. Could be just too many.
This is just a crazy even trade when it comes to army versus army. All the Voiders are down. That's a huge investment that takes forever for Hero to rebuild. But he killed so many Ultras as well, eliminated the Corruptor force. Economy-wise, right now Hydra still has his base at top left, and that's his saving grace. He still has his 3rd base up as well. And the remake on the hatchery that you see at, I guess you could call it the 11 o'clock position, the top left, is really, really critical for him right now, because that is going to be the base that he wants to mine from. That's where he wants to get most of his income. I don't think Hero wants to engage against this many Hydras with Queen support.
Yeah, that would probably be a mistake. They are chasing after this one Archon. Maybe they will be able to get him, but off creep it might be a little hard.
That one Roach is trying so hard, man, but he has to turn around. He's not gonna sacrifice himself to maybe kill an Archon. He made the right choice from a personal standpoint. I wonder if Roaches ever get personal. You think so?
If they ever get personal?
Yeah,
I mean,
if they
like
ever
hold grudges and stuff?
They
or?
ever, like, get personally, hold a grudge, or, not want to listen to Kerrigan. I wonder if that ever happens. They don't seem like it, but, I guess, like, there could be that one Roach who's a little bit grumpy.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't seem like the nicest gentlemen in the pack of Zerginets. That one Stalker blinking into his own certain death.
Yeah, I wanted to get some vision there for perhaps some Storms. The Storms basically have to be perfect in this type of composition for Hero because he's only relying on them for his AoE damage against the Hydras with no Colossi. And I think the reason why is basically he's saying, which is smart, Storm is great against Hydras. Hydras are the problem. It's okay against Roaches. But you've killed all my Void Rays, and you can remake a ton of Corruptors, so I hope that you do. I'm not going to make any more Void Rays because that takes me too long, and I'm just going to rely on Storm right now, which I can also mass produce out of Gateways, unlike Colossi. This is unfortunate. I don't know if Hero knows that he's about to lose his base here. Okay, though he does come back. He needs perfect Storms here. The first one is pretty good, actually, and the second one...
Yeah, huge Storms onto a lot of those Colossi. He has to get another really great Storm onto this army. What he has right now with that Photon Overcharge is decent, but it has to continue being basically perfect here.
Yep, these Hydras are doing a lot of damage to this army of Hero, but he's not actually killing that Nexus while he's losing his hatchery again to the top left to those Stalkers. And this trade is okay here for Hydra. The Mothership Core making that Overcharge so difficult to handle for these Hydras. It continues to be almost an exactly even trade for these two armies. Economy-wise for Hero, he's got that base, the bottom left that's finishing up right now that he really needs to send some workers over to mine onto.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, this is just continuing to be so even. Every time these guys trade armies, you can just look at the supply and it's so close. Hero continuing to try to do a lot of this harass damage. He's trying to get those High Temple over there, but there's no base over there.
Yeah, if he goes to the base of the top left, his Storms could actually kill a lot of these drones, but the High Temple are not going to be able to stick around for very long with all those spines and their location. And it looks like he's identified where the Warp Prism is coming from. But here we go. Storm number 1, Storm number 2. Kills a ton of Harvesters here, and actually looks like he's going to save both of his Templar. Well, Hydra's going for the chase.
They're going to try to get that over there, but as our observer's pointing out here, Hydra does not know about that base, and that's a big base for Hero to have up, like you said. And I like how Hero is continuing with the Colossi production right now because he knows that right now Hydra has no Corruptors. And
he knows his income is really low, too.
Yeah. If he just gets a big number of these Colossi, it's going to be so hard to deal with. He's keeping the High Templar as well, so he's going to have a lot of AoE.
Basically, this has been a game of Hero's surgical strikes across the map, always storm dropping. Even look at the creep spread. There's nothing left because he always has this group of Stalkers that eliminates creep, that eliminates vision, makes it a lot easier for him to continue to harass, and he just keeps hitting these surgical strikes, whereas what we're seeing from Hydra, like we see right now, good storm here on these Hydras, is just this blunt force type of attack where he's just trying to come in swinging, but he's not getting a whole lot out of it.
Yeah, he's really not getting a whole lot of it. Using a bunch of those Hydras basically to attack once, and you see all the AoE here. Hydra's force is just not that good right now.
Really good upgrades, but at the end of the day, he doesn't have enough. GG. His economy was in tatters because of the attacks that we saw from Hero over and over again. That was kind of a weird game. It almost looked like Hero threw it all away when he took that one bad engagement against the Vipers where the Hydras came in for the flank. But then what Hydra did, instead of getting further ahead and trying to tech further, was to remax constantly with Roaches and Hydras and continue to attack with those. He was never able to do anything but trade against the army of Hero, but his economy was always so strong that he just barely held on, kept remaking his army, and was eventually able to take that win. The Ultralisk transition that he did was, it seemed like a smart one at the time, but he didn't have any of the attack upgrades, and with all those Void Rays, the Ultralisk kind of struggled to take a confident engagement.
Yeah, I like how Hydra is able to hold off that attack, but like you said, I wish he had just gotten further ahead, teched up a little bit more, maybe go into that big death ball, get those Infestors out for all of those